Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Life Lifter Showcase. Running these Life Lifter Showcases every month, and it's fantastic to be your host on these. I'm going to go straight into the PowerPoint presentation, and tonight we have coming in the presentation a guest interview from, I don't think my PowerPoint's up, give me one moment. There we go. So for 30 years almost now, making presentations on how your thoughts shape your reality, both in yourself and in your life. And in these monthly Life Lifter Showcases, we're inviting coaches, working with goal mapping around the world, helping people in different ways, different areas of life, to share the difference they're making with this incredible system of success. And tonight, absolute pleasure that we'll be hearing from Stephen and Sam about the work that they've been doing. And me and Vicky here to both present the information and Vicky to answer as many of your questions as she possibly can. And there are all types of people joining these monthly events, sometimes new people know absolutely nothing about goal mapping, so we're covering some of the basics as we go through, as well as, of course, existing people that have been working with goal mapping for many years and helping many people to succeed in their goals with the system. And so tonight we're going to have a special focus on also empowerment of your self-esteem with goal mapping, and how you can make a difference helping the lives of others. And we've got a special certification offer for those people interested in being coaches coming at the end of the evening. Life is many different things to many different people. One thing we can say it is for sure for all of us is a path. And my life path has been a little unusual. Very quickly, my backstory is I was born into a traveling fun fair and circus family. These are my ancestors here. My great uncle, who was a knife thrower and a lion tamer in the circus. This is my great grandmother's traveling show. This is my great grandmother on the other side of the family. And in fact, all of my family are still traveling and doing the fun fairs. Only myself and my brother with my mother and father came to settle. Now, this picture particularly meaningful for me because it was taken the year I was born, 1961. This is my father's fun fair, and this was the life that I was born into. I had lots of different homes each year, and not only traveling with the fun fairs, but also taking the fun fair equipment to the seaside and opening up for the tourist industry on the Isle of Wight. And here, a picture of my father next to his pier and amusement arcade. And in fact, I still live in this hometown. It's at Ventnor on the south side of the Isle of Wight. And so growing up in this life of fun fairs and seaside tourist amusements, didn't actually go to school very much, travelled around a great deal, left school just before I was 13, and without the ability to read and write, and with obviously no qualifications, but I did become an early entrepreneur. My 13th birthday present was a rocket-shaped bubble gum machine and a box of bubble gum. And my next investment was a pinball machine. And then my big business breakthrough at 15 it was this rocket-shaped Space Invaders. I was one of the first people in the country to own one. And then at 18, I took the family business in a new direction. I became the youngest ever licensee of a nightclub in the UK. Become very successful very quickly. I opened in 1981. Adam Ant time, new romantic scene. This is me at 19. In face paint and frilly shirts. I was a DJ for 10 years. This is my DJ box, Blue Crystal inside a gorilla hand. Themed the whole of the nightclub with all the things that I'd learned in both the circus and the traveling fun fairs and amusements. And it became really popular. We were in lots of music magazines. We had lots of celebrities come into the nightclub, made a lot of money, had a lot of fun. And that continued for 13 years. I felt absolutely invincible on top of the world. And then I wasn't. Because in the late 1980s, early 90s, everything come crashing down. Sometimes life changes. It changes outside of your immediate control. It changes unexpectedly. It changes quickly. The change that came for me was Club Med. In the late 1980s, early 90s, all of my customers stopped coming to the Isle of Wight, and instead they went to a different island called Ibiza. And it was the beginning of English people taking their main summer holiday in the Mediterranean or further, not in England anymore. And so the family business here on the Isle of Wight had died because there was not the number of tourists anymore. Everything closed down. Businesses, hotels, shops, it became the unemployment worst place in the south of England. It was a really sad time. And at age 29, I suddenly saw my life change. And I went from having a lot of money to having no money and being in a lot of debt. In fact, £1 million of debt at age 29. My home was repossessed. Savings were gone, possessions were repossessed. My marriage broke down under the pressure. I had absolutely no qualifications because I left school early, couldn't even read or write properly. I had no work experience. I'd only worked for myself and my father. Life was looking dark and I felt very scared. And I really didn't know what to do. And the turning point for me came through a strange set of situations where I met a guy that became my life coach. I met this amazing coach that helped me to turn everything around by teaching me the simple science of positive thinking and how, if you think you can, well, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. And that by thinking positively, you form brain cell connections that help you to see life more clearly and to come up with answers to problems. And by using these simple thinking strategies and learning how to set goals, I was able to gradually change my life. And one of the most important goals that I set and achieved was overcoming my learning problems and teaching myself to read well. I was 30 years old when I learned to read well, and thankfully my coach guided me to treating the gift of reading as a really responsible thing and to read more and more personal development. I'd never understood before reading personal development that positive thinking is a science. I thought some people are born with it and other people not. No, it's a science. It's a science that all of us can learn. And goal setting is also a science. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. If you don't set the goals in the right way, you probably won't achieve them. The more personal development books I read and techniques I learned and applied to my life, the more I realized success, lasting success, is not an accident. It happens on purpose. And success happens by learning the lessons of life and applying them to our life. And for those of you that are goal mapping coaches, write in what's the most important lesson of life you've learned. What's the most important goal you've achieved with goal mapping? Wherever you're joining from tonight, please do say what country you're joining from. We often have people coming for as many as 8, 9 different countries. And there are people joining that are brand new to goal mapping as well as experienced. If you're new to goal mapping, say you're new. If you're experienced in goal mapping, please help to answer the questions as we go through. Remember, if you have questions about how to set goals in the most powerful way and how to achieve your goals, just write them in the chat. We'd love to hear and we'd love to answer. And learning how to read at 30 years old was just such the most amazing feeling. It's difficult for me to put into words just how amazing it felt to overcome my learning challenges. But of course, I applied the science of positive thinking to all the different areas of my life. So I was feeling more confident than ever before. I joined a sales team, and my sales performance rose from the lowest in the team to the highest. I started to earn money, pay off my debt. My life improved in all the different areas. I was making presentations for other people because they wanted to know, well, how are you making the difference in your life? And then I was invited to join a training company in London. And what I become fascinated in is that lasting success is not an accident. And we can have a chance, casual success like winning the lottery, but lasting success over a number of years in any area of life, that never happens on accident. And that is on purpose. It happens because the person is living their life in harmony with the fundamental principles of success. Imagine that success and your potential to manifest your greatest desires is like a multi-combination lock. Only if you have all of the tumblers in the right sequence does the lock open. If any of the tumblers are out of place, if you have an error in your principles that you're following or the way that you're setting your goals, simply the lock doesn't open. Only when we have all of the important aspects of goal setting in alignment, that we understand the principles of success, do we open the treasure chest to our full potential. And when I started making presentations on this in 1993 and 1994, all around the UK, the question that I heard again and again from people in my audience was, why wasn't I told this in school? Why didn't I learn this in my education? And it's what I was thinking. I left school just before I was 13, but even up to 13, nobody knew about any of this. And for me, it was like the missing piece of the puzzle. It was the key that set me free. And I heard so many other people say, well, why didn't somebody else tell me about this when I was at school? It would have made such a big difference. And that caused another question in my mind. Why aren't we teaching it in school? Well, I think part of the answer is there isn't a recognized, standardized way that is documented in a textbook somewhere for a teacher to follow. Quite simply, I think a lot of teachers probably don't know what is the most important way of setting goals. And so it's not standard within our teaching. And goal achievement is a science. There is a right way, there is a wrong way. If you don't set the goal in the right way, the chances are you probably won't achieve it. And we have a lot of coaches joining this evening. And if you're a coach or a trainer or a therapist or a teacher, if you are not helping your people that you want to succeed in their life, if you're not helping them to understand how to set their goals in the right way, then their chances of achieving them are so much lower. Every time we've got an error in the combination, if we're missing one of the important principles, the lock doesn't open. I thought about this question of what's the best way to set goals endlessly. I wrote to all the experts around the world, and I only read books on goal setting. I've become obsessed by it. And then late one night, driving my car through the centre of London, I had a flash of insight where I saw a goal map. And I knew instantly, intuitively, here is an answer to my question. Not only is this an answer to my question, but this picture I've just seen flash into my mind has depth. What I understood very quickly is that the combination of words and pictures, right brain, left brain together, create whole brain activation. Whole brain activation, activating our left brain, logical mind, likes to think in words, think through strategy, and right brain, connected to our creative mind, likes to think holistically. Bring those two together, and you need both for effective goal achievement or self-manifestation. It took me some months to reverse engineer the flash of insight that I'd seen in the goal map. And of course, I led with it myself by setting my own goals this way. And they work quickly. And look on the screen here, this is one of my very earliest goal maps. Unfortunately, I don't have my earliest one still. But here on the screen, this is from 1996. And already I'd been using goal mapping around about 1.5 years. And you can see I'm setting goals to speak in different countries. I'm setting a goal to write a book about the subject, setting goals to work with corporate audience and others. And it worked. These are just some of the big brand names who have benefited from goal mapping: Siemens, Disney, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, etc. And not just a few people. British Telecom, more than 50,000 people with goal mapping. Microsoft, more than 70,000 people with goal mapping. And so these are big organizations that have used goal mapping over many years, and there have been many presentations in many countries around the world, and I've been sharing the stage with many different speakers, including making presentations over quite some years for Tony Robbins, and it's also led to the publication of the goal mapping book, which has been translated into many languages, now in its second reprint, as well as other books, because there is more than one mapping system that I've created and teach. The publicity and exposure on goal mapping around the world has been fantastic, including this article from CNN about using goal mapping in your career. And I've been on TV in a number of different countries for goal mapping, and many different awards. The driving force behind it all, very simple. I want to make a difference to other people in the way that somebody made a difference to me. Some years ago, I had a realization that the way I could help the most people was by helping a lot of coaches and trainers and therapists. And so here, this is my big purpose goal map, and it's focused on helping 7 million people in well-being, business, education, social groups, lifestyle, etc. But the big thing in this map is the certification program. And when I started the certification program, there was just 10 people on the first workshop in 1999, and there are now 1,574. And the number goes up literally every week with new people joining the program, some teaching in corporates, some in public, some in education, some in sports, some in well-being, and some across all those different areas. And they're a fantastic community that come together like a family, support each other. The youngest is just 14 years old, and the oldest is in her 80s. And they're from all different walks of life and over 30 different countries. Some of them choosing to focus predominantly on business, like Jill and Katrina and Marina here, who's based in Greece, Jill and Katrina in England. Some like Emily here in Italy, who's had a lot of publicity about her work with education, and Cephas. Some are even world champions, like Katalin Konya here. What unites them all is this common sense of purpose about informing, inspiring, and empowering people with goal mapping and the other mapping systems, such as life mapping, action mapping, and self-mapping. And it's my absolute joy this evening to welcome both a great trainer, a presenter, and indeed personal friend, Stephen. And See if Vicky can just change the camera focus around. Bring us both on screen as I take off screen share. How you going, Stephen? Nice to see you, my friend.
I'm very good, thanks. And lovely to see you too.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Stephen, and your work. I know you do some fantastic things helping people.
Yeah, it goes back a long way. Unfortunately, I'm slightly older than 21, although I keep telling everyone I'm 21.
I wouldn't have known.
I'm an optician by profession. I've worked in many leadership roles throughout my life, both in business and in life in general. And it was back in 2006 that I was on a Tony Robbins event. It was Date with Destiny. So I'd done a couple of UPWs and I decided to go through Tony Robbins University. And this is where I discovered goal mapping, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But that was part of my journey in the self-development, personal development area. I'd done various different work throughout my life, and in the early 2000s, 2004, I went to a UPW with Tony Robbins, and this sort of shifted me around my way of thinking. In 2005, I left the UK. I made a choice that I wanted to leave. Tony Robbins, I think, guided me and it gave me the power. And certainly there were certain other things in my life at that time. And I moved to Russia. I got job hunted. I spent 11 years in Russia, in Moscow, Russia, working there, still in the eyewear business, with a couple of very successful companies there. And then along came some situations that we're a bit more aware of now, but in 2012, 2014, I was very aware of what was going on now, was coming. So I moved my family, and we now live in Barcelona, just outside of Barcelona, Spain, by the sea, which is another story, but that's very much where I wanted to be. And since moving, I've sort of shifted out of the eyewear business and into learning about conscious capitalism and going a little bit deeper with other areas of personal development, and then bringing those to businesses and individuals to make the world a better place, which is really my purpose and passion.
So it's a great story of your journey, Stephen, and we've met up loads of times over the years, often in the workshop in London. How do you find it combining goal mapping with the other things you teach, like conscious capitalism? And what's the difference you want to make in the world for people?
Two good questions there. So bringing goal mapping into the work, although I probably was doing the work with goal mapping before I got into the conscious capitalism arena, and then it was finding, okay, how does this fit in with what I'm learning? And what I was learning was, well, conscious capitalism has four main tenets, and the first one is higher purpose. Second one is conscious leadership. The third one is stakeholder orientation, and the fourth is conscious culture. And this is something that when you bring these four elements into a business, it really does shift how the business is being run, from a company that's only focused, in the words of Milton Friedman, only existing for the power of the shareholders and owners of the company and to make money for them, into a more stakeholder orientated environment where we look after community, we look after the company, we look after everyone, and the value is for everybody, all stakeholders, rather than just for the shareholders. But of course, the shareholders get it as well. And as I mentioned, the first tenet of that is higher purpose. And what I found was, by using goal maps, it was a great way to sit with a group of people in a company or a business or individuals to find their purpose. Because when we do a goal map that's a life goal map, because obviously you can do them very short ones around a specific job that you're doing or something specific that you want to do. But if you make that general life one, or if you do it for a company, you make it about the company's life. What is the central goal is really your purpose. I've found this so many times that when people really think about it, they produce that central goal is their purpose in life. It's the guiding force, it's the North Star, and then everything else builds around it and helps you focus on how you can make your central purpose, your life purpose, become the focus of everything you do, and also tied into everything you do. And this works with businesses as well as individuals.
Find your purpose, find your power.
Absolutely.
Is your experience that when you've worked with businesses, they're clear on things like their mission and their goals, but they haven't spent so much time thinking about purpose?
Yeah, I find that most companies think their mission is their purpose, and I liken this to the Golden Circles talk that Simon Sinek did, where he talks about leading from your why. And when you lead from your why, I look at it that our why is our purpose. Then how we do things, how we get there is our mission, and what we want to achieve is our vision. But above that lies our purpose. It's the guiding force, and it's really why, the reason why we set up this business, the reason we get purpose, our reason for living. And I really believe that that's very prevalent in all businesses, that when they find their purpose beyond making money, because yes, of course we need to make money, but a little bit like the body needs blood to stay alive, but our purpose is not to produce blood.
And your purpose?
My purpose, well, this came around actually when I was talking about my first goal map, and I can go into that if you give me a couple of minutes, because it's a great story.
Would you like me to show it? Because I think is this it?
This is not my first one. This is my current goal map. So that's the 2023 one. But my
hold back on that one for a minute.
Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of it. It was done in 2006 at Date with Destiny, and I didn't know I was doing a goal map at the time. And I did this goal map, and it was fantastic, all the pictures, and we were taught how to do it. And later on I discovered when we met that yes, indeed, you sort of were teaching that, and that was ever present within the Tony Robbins world at that time. And I did this goal map. It was a 10-year plan. It was very materialistic. It had me living by the beach, having a nice car, family, nice home, all of these different things that we want in a material world. And I achieved them 10 years later. And I was working with Tony Robbins at the time. I was bringing people from Russia to Tony Robbins events. And I was asked to share what was important to me, what I learned from Tony Robbins. And this goal map just flashed up. I said, wow, 10 years ago, I'd done this goal map. I'd done this plan, or I'd done this map, I didn't, as I said, hadn't met you yet, so I didn't know it was a goal map, but I was telling these guys that I'd done this, and 10 years later, everything came true, and it was amazingly strong. And this is the power of Tony Robbins. And this was one of the powers that he had. And then, of course, I looked into it, delved into it deeper. We've got our mutual friend, Carl, introduced me to you, Carl from the we then met, and I realized that this is something that I had been using, even though we hadn't met, and I was desperate to learn more. And thank you very much, because you held my hand through the learning process and gave me all that power. But I really believe that that was a very important stage. And at that meeting, when I realized that I'd got these 10-year goal map had worked, someone asked me, what was I going to do for the next 10 years? And for some reason, my mouth opened, and I said, I'm going to be a catalyst for world peace. Now, don't ask me why I said that. I know that when I look back, that's something that I've always been working towards. I've always looked for more peaceful scenarios. I've always looked to remove conflict from my life, but remove it from the world, and bring people into a more harmonious way of living. So it was a really important step up for me. And that's what brought me into things like learning about meditation and going up to India with meditation groups. I discovered conscious capitalism through that. And that really redirected me when I made that decision that was my purpose. I had a new purpose, or a new higher purpose that was no longer materialistic.
A deep sense of commitment and feeling within you, I expect, Stephen, that surfaced as you've been on your personal development journey. What are your goals for the future?
My goals, well, now you can bring up my current goal map. I mean, I'm working work on basically around the conscious leadership. I'm a public speaker, so I want to share as much information around peace, longevity, harmony, and the fact that the world can be a better place than it is at the moment if we shift the way that we lead, certainly within companies, but in governments and countries as well, and also within the home. So if we change how we lead, then we become better leaders, and we produce better followers, and the followers become leaders in themselves, because that's what the power that we empower them with, and everything becomes a much more harmonious place to live. And once we see that, then we'll see a much more peaceful place, because when things are in harmony, it's much more peaceful.
What are your plans in terms of going forward? You have your map there, but I know that you both like to coach people as well as to make presentations. You're a good keynote speaker. Who are the people that you most have a passion to help in the coming years?
Probably say small to medium, but also large size business people, because I feel that that's where you can have a large effect there. If we go to governments, they tend to be tied up in a lot of bureaucracy, and they don't see the opportunity to change, because they're usually the people who are leading in governments are only on a short tenure, and they know that they have to produce things there and then, and they don't really think about the bigger picture. This is what I feel and I've found and experienced. Whereas within businesses, they generally can be looking for a bigger future, and therefore I'm looking for business owners, C-suite level, and those sort of founders who are looking to produce something that's going to be a more conscious way of doing business, and take into account all the environment and all the things that a lot of people are talking about at the moment, but not necessarily really buying into. So we want to get rid of the greenwashing, or whatever you want to call it, and get people to actually not just act upon what they're saying, but really believe in it and see the benefits that it can bring for both themselves and all their stakeholders.
And what's the most pleasing goal that you've helped someone else achieve using goal mapping?
I think the one that always resonates well with me is there was a young lady that I was working with. She was this was during the COVID period. She was a hairdresser. She was struggling. She's from Eastern Europe, living in the UK, and she was going through a lot of struggle. And we sat down and did a goal map. We were doing some work together at the time, and 3 days later, so she hadn't even got that far that she'd shown me the goal map yet. She was still working on it. She called me up 3 days later and said, I can't believe it. I put in one of my goals was about getting some land or getting a new home back in my homeland, where she came from. And this was something that she put down. And during those 3 days, she got a call from her mother to say that a patch of land had come up near to where they lived. It was available, was within the price range that she was looking, and she actually went ahead and bought that land. And now, this was going to be her future home, where she was going to live and spend her time. So it was wonderful that she'd done it, and she called me up. She said, I can't believe it's happened so quick. It's like it's voodoo. And I said, no, it's not voodoo, it's what you do.
That's a nice line.
It was really, and that just came to me, but it was such a pleasure hearing that from her, because she just couldn't believe how it could happen so quickly. And I said, well, it can happen 10 years, 1 year, 3 days. It doesn't really matter.
Sometimes really fast.
Yeah, exactly.
And for yourself, what's the most pleasing goal you've achieved with goal mapping?
I'm still working on it. I think, a lot of things that I've achieved in my, as I say, a lot of them were materialistic. I've moved away from that, and I'm achieving a lot of things around that current map. So particularly in my speaking world, I'm going to be speaking at the end of this in a big event in November in Barcelona with the PSA of Spain, Professional Speakers Association, and getting more work and achieving what I wanted, what I set out to do short years ago, and really shifting my whole lifestyle and business lifestyle from what I was doing and very successful at, to a new career, basically, that I believe that I am very successful at still.
And then we have a lot of people that watch the recording plus for live streaming tonight. And if you had a microphone out to the world, Stephen, what one message would you like to share?
Well, especially pertaining to tonight, but it would be whether we were talking about goal mapping or anything else. I would just say, believe in your dreams because they can come true. Everything started with a thought. So bear in mind that everything started with a thought and then progressed to being reality. So if everything that's produced started that way, why can't your dreams be the next thought that you produce into a reality?
That's a lovely thought to finish with. And if people want to contact you, you can see your details behind you there, your email address, plus you're in the coach profile, and I think all the details are up to date there for you as well. Thank you so much for joining. I think you're in the UK at the moment, visiting family and friends.
Correct, yep. But usually out in Barcelona or just near Barcelona.
Give my love to Carl when you see him.
I certainly will do.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Take care, mate. See you soon. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go back on to screen share very quickly and just going to move through a little more of the presentation and information before we also hear from our next guest coach tonight, Sam, and her work with goal mapping. Goal mapping is unique in this balanced combination of both words and pictures. Words helping to stimulate left side of the brain, pictures helping to stimulate right side of the brain. Now, in addition to the words and pictures, we've got a main goal in the center and then side goals. These can be from all different areas of your life or all from the same area. Plus at the top of the map, reasons why, and then when, how, and who. And these different aspects are the crucial elements of conscious achievement. When I first started teaching goal mapping in 1995, for the first few years, I thought I really had something new, until in 1999, I was invited to a Hindu ceremony in London, and I saw the Brahmin priest chanting the mantra while looking at the yantra. A yantra, you can see here on the right, is the power pattern picture. And a mantra is words that are chanted. This combination of affirmation and visualization, word and picture, has been around for thousands of years in all of the ancient cultures and is still present in the latest modern tech, such as my Google Sat-Nav maps here, because the combination of words and pictures is how we activate the brain in a holistic way and deeply ingrain our commands or wishes. 7 simple steps, starting with the right brain. Dream, what do you want to achieve? Use your imagination and look forwards into the future. And there may be many things you want to achieve. And so then the second step, order. Identify what you believe is the main goal. Put that in the very center as the priority. Then map the rest out in words and pictures. So we've got side goals, and then at the top of the map, why? What are your most important reasons? And as you just heard Stephen saying, often leading with the why is the advice to leaders. And then step 5, when? And then how and who. And these 7 steps are the critical aspects of conscious achievement. And in the goal mapping monthly series, we are both helping people to understand the opportunity of how they teach goal mapping, as well as how to create their own goal maps. Each month, we are guiding people through creating goal maps for the important life areas, starting with the goal map for living your best life, So you have the big picture, and then goal maps for authentic happiness, feeling fantastic, having vibrant well-being, financial freedom, harmonious relationships, and living with a sense of purpose. 7 goal maps, 30 days apart, so that you follow the ritual of looking at your map and saying the words, affirmation, visualization, mantra, yantra, to activate your whole brain so that you deeply embed the goal into both your conscious and subconscious mind. Each month, we are running a Life Path Masterclass where me and Vicky and the goal mapping coaches are showing people how to create goal maps to improve your life. In the next monthly Life Path Masterclass, it is raising your self-esteem. And then also each month we have group coaching sessions, which we invite guests to join, as well as those people that are taking their coach training. We also have a deep dive daytime workshop. So starting at 10 a.m. in the morning through until 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 hours of deep content to learn the principles of goal mapping. And then, as tonight, we have the inspiring stories from life lifters around the world. Coming up soon, we're going to have Sam talking about her work with goal mapping. If you'd like to join any of these events, go to our events page and you can sign up, in most cases for free. Some of the events, of course, are an upgrade, but it's a really simple process. A goal mapping is not only a 7-step system for success, it is also a mindset workshop that helps you to combine the two into a sustainable system for success. And it's this mindset workshop that you can learn here in the Life Path journey, where we have videos from the goal mapping workshop. Click on any of the dots on the island, the video comes up for play. And at the end of the video, you're invited to watch the next video or to go create or indeed update your map. And it's a pleasure now to introduce to you Sam Ottley, who's been working with goal mapping now for a few years. Done some great things. Just going to change my camera there. Sam, lovely to see you. Been a little while since we last connected.
Hello, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Really well.
So, Sam, tell us first and foremost, because I know there'll be people excited to hear about your work with goal mapping, and in particular, I know that you've got a passion helping young girls.
Yeah. So, I've got an echo. Sorry. I've been working with goal mapping on a personal level since I think it was 2018 through a property networking group where they introduced goal mapping in one of their sessions.
Building Financial.
That's the one, yeah. And at first, you know, when you're doing it and you're sitting there colouring in and things, you're like, what's this got to do with property? But soon realised it had everything to do with my life, basically, and I've never lived without it since. And it's just been quite an amazing journey with me and goal mapping. So I started a charity with my friend in 2020. And we coach young girls in schools, and we, you know, help them to build confidence, self-esteem, values, understand what their values are, understand who they are as young women. So we work with girls that are 14 to 15 years old, and we also work with the older ones that just started sixth form, so 16, 17 years. But we weren't using the goal mapping system. And like you said earlier, you know, it was like a missing piece of a puzzle for us, because we had this coaching program that lasts about 8 weeks. But but realised that there was just something missing. The girls just weren't excited enough about their futures, and that for us was quite sad, because you know, with everything that's been going on in the world, they just thought, well, what is there? You know, what is my future like?
Was it a low aspiration?
It was, yeah. I mean, we didn't
Because of where
recognise
they
it.
lived, Sam, or was a whole bunch of conditions?
It was a lot of conditions. I mean, some of them are all growing up in poverty. Some of them aren't getting the best schooling, and you know, their family lives aren't that great, and so that's why we work with the girls that we work with. So one year we decided, a couple of years, about 18 months ago, to try the goal mapping. You know, I've been using it for a while. And I said to my colleague, let's introduce it. Let's get these girls excited about their futures. And it's been amazing. We get such good feedback from the sessions. I mean, it's a very short session, unfortunately, but it's a very powerful session. And it's lovely to just watch them sort of come alive as they do. So they do it on paper. They, you know, they sit there, we play some music, there's some soothing music, and they just sit there and they can actually visualize, because we also do visualization with them as well, so they can see that their futures can be a lot brighter than what they originally felt it could be. And just watching them in the room, it's like electrifying. It's just such a buzzy feeling. It's amazing. We don't ask them to share them with us if they don't want to, you know, it's completely private to them, but it's, you know, we just give them the tools and let their imaginations run wild, and they do, and it's just so much fun.
What are some of the results that you've seen?
Sorry, say that again.
Some of the results that you've seen from your work?
Well, I mean, we get a lot of feedback from the teachers, because we work in schools, and so a lot of, you know, a lot of the teachers that we speak to often say that students are transforming in their classes because of the sessions that we run with them. They have more focus, you know, they now know what they need to do to get to where they need to get to, because they now have this plan, and it's amazing. You know, it's just amazing to watch, to witness.
I can see your face lighting up when you talk about it. Can tell it makes your heart sing.
It really does, yeah.
What's the best feeling for you when you're helping a young person achieve their goals like that?
Oh gosh, I think just knowing that they now have something better than what they had before we started, and that for me is just amazing, that my colleague and I've helped to present that to them, something that they, like you said, you know, had no clue about. Yeah, they might write down some goals or things they want to achieve, but with a goal map, having those steps in place, I think is the most powerful thing for them, is knowing how they're going to get there, because a lot of them just struggle with that.
It may be because I'm quite a logical person, but once I understood there was a formula and I could learn it, that gave me quite a hope.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was thinking, what's the hope? You know, it was looking, oh, I can't read and write, I've got no qualifications. I know there must be a lot of people that feel in that same place. What's been the most pleasing thing for you in it all, Sam?
Quite similar to Stephen, actually, because I worked with a young woman. So previously I was a teacher, which is why I'm still in education now. So I worked in a school with a young woman who wanted to do lots of different things with her life. I mean, the main thing she wanted to do was have a little pop-up restaurant or something. But every week I would see her and she'd be like, oh, my younger brother's asked me to help him with this, and my older sister wants me to come in on that, and this friend wants, and I'm like, you need to stop. You just need to stop and have a focus on you. What do you want to do? So we met up one evening in a restaurant. I tend to walk around with goal maps and colouring pencils just in case these things happen. So we met up, and sitting in the restaurant, and I got her to focus on her, the things that she actually wanted to do. And so she did that, and she had her plan. She wanted to open up a restaurant, but this time it was a bit bigger. It was going to be in Cameroon. And so she gave herself 5 years, and she had sub-goal maps to help her as well. And within 18 months, she opens up her restaurant in Cameroon, and every time I see her, she just cries, and she's just like,
Oh, wow.
I can't believe I did this. I get quite teary as well when I think about it, because she just thought 5 years is enough, and she still works full time in England, and to set up a restaurant in Cameroon, which is doing pretty well. I was hoping to go out there in the summer when she left. She went out there in the summer holidays, but she sends me pictures and updates and everything, and it's absolutely amazing. And to think that she did that 3.5 years before she thought she would has transformed her life.
Some goals come quicker than we expect.
Yeah, definitely.
And for yourself, what are your goals for the future?
For the future, so business related, with the charity, it is just to continue what we are doing with the goal mapping, and also, because my background is finance, it is to educate as many young girls as possible in the world of finance. I used to be a maths teacher and read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and quit. Like, I literally just resigned. Like, I cannot teach maths anymore. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? And so, yeah, I resigned and decided I'm going to do a workshop on finance for these girls in sixth form. And that's what I did. But we've now incorporated that with our coaching program. And so my main goal is to just, hit as many girls as I can with financial knowledge, and just empower them, so that when they go off to uni or to work, they are armed with the knowledge that they need, because not everyone needs to know the cosine of a triangle. Like, it's just not necessary.
My daughter would be pleased to hear that.
Yeah, but
I think it's fantastic what you're doing.
Thank you.
And that me and Vicky in the community really happy to support you. That's such a worthy work. Same question I asked to Stephen. If you had a microphone to the world, think of all these young girls that you're helping find their way in life, what would you want to say to people, Sam?
Just get excited. Just live and be excited about everything that you do, and do everything with a smile, because I think that makes a massive difference, mentally as well, when you're just smiling all the time. I mean, I know it's not possible, but yeah, just get excited.
That positive energy makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And if people want to contact you, if they
I don't have
contact us at Goal Mapping, your coach profile is coming soon. But if they're contacting Vicky at Goal Mapping, because there may be people that are really interested to know more about your work and the charity, if they contact us, we can pass it on to you. Yeah. Okay.
And Vicky's posted my LinkedIn profile link as well. Thank you, Vicky.
She's on it, isn't she? Thank you so much for taking the time to join, Sam.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
Hope to be seeing more of you, and please do let us know how we can continue to support you in the work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Brian.
You're very welcome. Nice to see you, my friend. Take care for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So fantastic always for me to hear about how so many different types of people work in the goal mapping in different places around the world, and making a difference with what is really a really a simple system for success, but are so diverse in so many different ways. And what empowers it is a very simple science of positive thinking. This is the same simple science of positive thinking that so helped me when I was in a life crash situation, and it helped me to turn around my fortunes and also my learning challenges that I was facing and get myself started in a new career. Each of us have billions of brain cells, and each one of our brain cells or neurons grows these arms and branches, which are called dendrites, and they're all separated by a small gap known as the synaptic gap. There's a lot of detail that we could go into, but it's important to stay focused on the key point. And the key point is simply this: if you choose a positive thought about yourself, your life, your situation, and that positive thought starts as an electrical impulse in the middle of the brain cell, and it travels out along the arms and branches, and it stimulates the release of a chemical called serotonin, which is the chemical that gives us the feeling of happiness and well-being. And now there are thousands of medical reports written about this on the internet. You can take the time out, go search them on serotonin. However, what's often more powerful is simply to know this as an experience in yourself. If you close your eyes, focus your mind, think of something very, very happy that's happened to you, maybe recently, maybe years ago in the past. Within a few moments of focusing on that happy thought, you'll trigger the release of serotonin, and you will have the experience of happiness right now in the moment. Not only does thinking positively release the serotonin that gives us the feeling of happiness, but it's also a neuroconductor. It joins the brain cells together. It allows our thought impulse to continue on its journey, and it builds up this positive pattern of thought. It's this joining together of brain cells that gives us those aha light bulb moments where we find answers to problems and we find a way forward in our life. We feel motivated. The brain cells join, we have a new idea, the serotonin gives us the feel-good feeling. And unfortunately, quite quickly after having that light bulb moment, eureka, the brain cells also break back apart again. And this is why it is so vitally important to understand the science of goal setting and to be able to explain this science to your clients, the people that are coming to you for help in achieving their goals. When we set a goal, it helps us to maintain the brain cell connection, because quite simply, brain cells that fire together, well, gradually they wire together. The more often we think about our goal, the more often we tell ourselves we're going to achieve our goal, so the goal grows from a thought to an opinion to a belief to a knowing, a feeling of certainty that we're going to achieve our goal. And the more brain cell connections we make, the more we activate both our right brain, so we've got a good vision of the future, as well as our left brain, so we're able to make a plan, follow a strategy, be effective in our day-to-day actions. Brain balance is iterative, like the infinity sign on its side. One side of the brain influencing the other. And the most brilliant people that have ever lived, like Leonardo da Vinci, have this brain balance. And it's a principle for all of us to aspire to. because the more brain balance we create in ourselves by setting properly structured goals, the more we release serotonin that lifts our self-esteem and in turn empowers our physiology right down to a body chemistry level. Positive thinking and goal setting helps us in so many different ways. As Henry Ford said more than 100 years ago, if you think you can, well, you probably will. But if you think you can't, well, you probably won't. Because when you think negatively about yourself, your life, your situation, the negative impulse releases a different chemical into your brain called cortisol, which creates the feeling of fear. And again, you can try it now in your own experience. Think about that last scary movie you watched or something very, very frightening. And within a few moments, you release cortisol. It gives you the feeling of fear. And cortisol is a neuroinhibitor. It's also a neurotransmitter chemical. Think about something very, very scary, be at home watching that scary movie, and all the hairs start to stand up on your arm because the chemical release starts to change your body chemistry. And as you release more and more cortisol, your brain closes down. Not only does your brain close down, but also your body closes down. This is part of our ancient fight or flight response. Because in ancient times, when the main danger was a wild animal that wanted to eat us for lunch, it was important that our brain closed down and we just focused on one thing, the big fear, and that our body also closed down. Digestion, immune system, lymph system, all closed down so that energy can be sent to our muscles with adrenaline, endorphin. We can fight or flight and survive the hungry bear. And this ancient system worked well for millions of years, but in modern life, it really doesn't serve us. Because in modern life, the problems we face are very different. It's not a hungry bear, it's an angry bill that wants payment straight away because it's already overdue. It's people going into false fear, false expectations about the future that are appearing real in our mind. How are we going to cope with the bills, the cost of living crisis? Will my children even have a future with the changing environment and how the planet is going? There's wars everywhere. These modern fears are often real in our mind, and they cause us to go into the fight or flight response, and we become stressed and simply sick. The antidote in life's modern problems is to learn how to stay positive. Goal setting is the way that we learn to stay positive in our brain cell connections. And the more positive brain cell connections we make, the more we're working with our whole brain. Left brain logical, the right brain creative, but also left brain not only thinking in words, but connected to our conscious mind, and the right brain thinking in pictures connected to our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is enormously powerful. It's like having our most fantastic genie that can help our wishes come true. But the real challenge is the genie can't wish for you. You must command the genie. With your conscious mind, you are master of the lamp. By thinking about what you want, you command your subconscious to move you towards it and bring it into your life. The big problem with your subconscious genie is that it can't make choices. If you are not thinking about what you want, if you are instead of thinking about hitting the target, if you are worrying, oh, I'm going to fail, I'm going to get things wrong, life's going to be too much. If you're thinking about missing the target, your subconscious thinks that is what you want and helps you miss the target. This is why all professional sports people now have a mind coach that helps them learn how to choose their thoughts and stay focused on the target. Of course, we're not all sports people, but we do all need to focus on the target. And if you're thinking about what you don't want, such as bills and problems and loneliness, then quite simply your genie will get confused and bring you more of it. How do you hold your conscious mind on the target? Set it in a goal map. You've heard it from both of our guest coaches this evening. You're reading in all the testimonials if you want to go to the information page. And by focusing on what you want, it helps you stay steering towards it. That doesn't mean closing your eyes to what you don't want. We need to be aware of the problems in life. And we need to be aware of things like bills and challenges and potential dangers. They are the holes in our path. But we don't want to stare at the hole. We want to stay focused on where we want to go, what we want to do, who we want to be. If we stare at the hole, we will automatically steer to the hole. Life is full of holes. If we stare at the hole in ourselves, we become our worst. We stare at the holes in our path, we move towards the things that we don't want and into self-sabotage. We help ourselves the most by staying focused on what we want. What we want in our life with a goal map, what we want in ourselves, and with an action map. And goal mapping works so particularly well because of this unique combination of words and pictures, helping to activate the whole of the brain. And we are each a combination of thoughts and feelings and actions. Our repeated thoughts become beliefs, our repeated feelings become attitudes, our repeated actions become habits. Goal mapping helps us to work with all of these aspects. In particular, it's focused on holding our best thoughts. The next system on in the series is life mapping, which is focused on helping you to have your best feelings and to raise your self-esteem. Action mapping helps you to change habits and to have great interaction with other people. Self-mapping is helping you to be truly authentic, your true high self, coming together. Goal map, life map, and action map. And in the upgraded version of goal mapping, you can create all of these different maps plus your to-do list, because I find it really important when mapping out the top priority maps in my life to have an action plan that I can follow through and update on a regular basis. If you are upgrading to the gold level of goal mapping, you have all of these different mapping systems and features available to you, but perhaps the greatest benefit is joining the Gold Lounge. In the Gold Lounge, we have a video from all of our deep dive workshops. You can join any of the live workshops. And we also have 7 speciality focused coaching rooms. Each of these rooms focused on a different important life area. Harmonious relationships, purposeful living, authentic happiness, best life, financial freedom, feeling fantastic, and vibrant well-being. Go into any of the rooms and you find a whole series of content that guides you through creating and living a specific goal map for that area of your life. So how to create and live a goal map for vibrant well-being, plus success interviews and deep dive content to help you learn the principles of how you apply goal mapping for fantastic well-being. You also get a ticket to the next Golden Opportunity Workshop, as well as being able to access the recording of the Golden Opportunity Workshop that's already there for you. Simply go to the events page and you can register for the next deep dive workshop. Each month we go through one of the 7 fundamental principles, and coming up and later in October 16th, 10 a.m. through to about 1:30, 2 p.m. we're going to focus on finding balance. One of my favorite principles: the more balance you find in yourself, the more balance you bring to your life. In the deep dive interactive workshops that we run through the daytime, and we're helping people learn the deeper content. The workshops are interactive. And in this next workshop, you'll be learning about how true life success is not active, it's dynamic. And I'll be guiding you through taking the life balance check, giving yourself a score in each of these important life areas so that you create a life balance wheel. As always with our work, you can save your exercise into the life balance journal, and we're going to focus in the coming workshop on how you raise self-esteem. For me, the work I've been doing with young people over the last 20 years, it's been guiding them through doing life balance check, how to raise their self-esteem by using the life mapping system and information that has been fundamentally important to helping them have the self-belief to go out and set their goals and follow their life dreams and life purpose. And the goal mapping platform is making this easier than I've ever known in the 30 years history of goal mapping for people to access all of the content. If you're viewing tonight at the free level and you'd like to upgrade, it's really simple. Clicking the upgrade button in the header, you can upgrade for just £9.99 for the month. And not only does that give you a ticket to the Golden Opportunity Workshop, it gives you access to all of the features at the gold level. You can also downgrade really easily. Simply go to the account settings, click on the account settings, and you can unsubscribe without losing any of your content. It's still there. You can download, print out your map, etc. Nothing's deleted, and you have access. You can download all of the premium material. Just in the family center alone, the value you can download is actually over £100 just for £9.99, and then downgrade again if you wish. If you are serious about your personal development journey, you want to take a year's journey, it's just £90. And we are putting it up soon in the coming months, starting in the new year. But if you're taking a year's upgrade, you're saving £30 on the monthly price. You get a ticket every month to the Golden Opportunity Workshop. But in addition to that, and all of the recordings from the past, and we're also giving you a coaching session with one of our premium coaches of your choice. You book this coaching session directly with our coach, we will help you do it, but it means you choose your own time, you do it from the comfort of your own home. It will be a minimum of an hour, maybe 1 hour 30, depends on you. And our coach will guide you through creating a goal map of your choice. So if you're upgrading just tonight to the yearly level, £90, you're going to get gold level for the whole year. You're going to get a ticket to every gold workshop we run every month. including the whole day workshop that's coming up in December. So you start the year right. And in addition to all of that for the next year, all of the recordings, all of the added benefits, creating all of the maps and using the action planner. And we're also throwing in a coaching session with one of our premium coaches. And if you're already a coach and you're interested to take your journey further, well, you can use goal mapping for any area of your life, and whatever type of coach you may be or choose to be for your future, whatever your niche market, the people that you want to help, helping those people to achieve their goals, of course, is fundamental, which is why Tony Robbins, who knows a thing or two about setting goals, still chooses to supply goal mapping to his clients, as you heard Stephen say tonight. We've got 3 levels of certification: goal mapping coach, working one-to-one; goal mapping facilitator, working with groups in a half-day workshop; and goal mapping practitioner, keynote presentations and big groups or conferences. If you are interested to join this evening, you can join at the coach level, and many people follow through to facilitator or practitioner, or some people join directly at the facilitator level, as you did, Sam, I think, looking on the screen. And for anyone joining facilitator tonight, we've got an extra special offer, which is, as well as goal mapping, we are also including the life mapping facilitator training. At the facilitator level, it also includes the coach training. So if you're joining the facilitator training tonight, you'll also receive the life mapping facilitator. And for me, this has been one of the most rewarding programs to teach, because of the way that it helps people raise their self-esteem, particularly young people. I've noticed that quite often when I'm coaching teenagers, I start with life mapping, then follow through with goal mapping, because life mapping is great for raising self-esteem, and then there's more self-belief to set the goals. If I'm working with business people, then I'm often starting with goal mapping and then following through with life mapping. The systems are very flexible, and as part of the training, we help you to find your niche, and within that, to find your process of how you combine the different mapping systems and material to create the very best results with your clients. There is full resource centers, training manuals, PowerPoints and videos for everything we do. All of our trainings, our group coaching, are recorded and are in the team areas, so you can watch them again and again. And in fact, you can attend as many of the trainings as you wish to for free. And we have people that have been certified for many years that still continue to attend the trainings because they love connecting with the community. It gives them a lift in themselves and their life. And of course, they're refreshing their knowledge on the training, plus seeing all of the new things here in the platform. Because as being certified, you receive not only the training manuals, workbooks, and become part of the community, but we are also updating the platform, which you can use for coaching your people, because you learn to coach and train goal mapping, not only online, but also physical. So you're able to use the coaching center, where you can create one-to-one coaching pages. These are just some of mine you can see on the screen. If I open up this one here with Kristen in Norway, you see we've got a chat system. She can share her goal maps with me here. I can open them up, see the map, write her feedback. But you also get access to the workshop builder, where you can build your own online workshops. You can make these private workshops, public workshops, corporate workshops. And this is a network I've built for one of my longest clients, Forever Living Products. And in this workshop, I'm updating with new content, new Zoom presentations all of the time. And there's now almost 1,000 people that are in this one workshop. Has its own registration page and point of entry. And there are now so many people certified in goal mapping, creating their own workshops in their own language with their own video and their own resources. Me and Vicky hold your hand, show you how to do it. And this is both a personal development opportunity for you as well as a business opportunity. And I've had so many people say to me, oh, Brian, I'm not so great with tech. And I've only just started learning these last few years and I'm getting a little older, and we will help you learn the tech as well as develop yourself, develop the confidence, learn the speaking skills, develop the coaching skills that you can help yourself, as well as, of course, turn that into a business opportunity by helping others. And by using our online platform, they can be people that are anywhere in the world. I'm helping people in very distant countries learn goal mapping so they can then teach it to others in their local area. Who do you want to help? And with this amazingly simple yet powerful system for success. As part of the coach training, you're going to be coached into creating your own goal maps. You're going to create, in fact, 9 goal maps. You're going to map out all the important different areas of your life to help you form those brain cell connections, plus a goal map for running your goal mapping business, finding and following your life purpose. You're going to create a life map about being your best. And this is a professional certification in both goal mapping and life mapping. And also, if you wish to teach it to young people, as you've heard, the passion is for Sam tonight. Plus, there is the full resource materials. We've got training materials, marketing materials. We've got both group coaching as well as one-to-one coaching. And we've got the support of the marketing center and affiliate center. Because within the system, not only do you get your own coach profile, hear from Andy Coley, who's going to be one of our guest coaches coming up in the next couple of months, but also you get an affiliate center that you can use, which I'll be showing in just a little while. It's a simple 7-week, or if you wish to, 7-month journey. The time frame is up to you. 7 coaching sessions that you can spread over any time you wish. Some people are doing it in less than 7 weeks because they want to go really fast. Some people are doing it in more than 7 weeks. But in these 7 coaching sessions, you are guided to create your goal maps. Some of them are group coaching sessions, and some of them are one-to-one coaching sessions with one of our senior coaches of your choice to not only coach you into creating your map, but to share with you the secrets of how they've been successful with goal mapping. And like you've been hearing here tonight from some of our guest coaches. The marketing and affiliate center make it easy for you to reach out into the world and support other people in creating their maps. You can check who joins with you through your affiliate link. And if they're upgrading, you're receiving commissions. We even make available materials for you to post on social media with your affiliate link to draw people back into your coach profile, become your customers, use the online platform, use it for free. And if they're upgrading, of course, you receive a commission. You can even create marketing pages and automated emails. We've got logos, flyers, marketing materials of all sorts, including testimonials from business, education, public, and of course, case studies from big companies like Microsoft here and British Telecom. all for you to use because they are testimonials on goal mapping. You will be certified as a goal mapping coach or facilitator and join the community. If you're not fully happy at the end of the 7-week journey, it's a full money back guarantee. It's a lifetime membership. There is nothing to pay afterwards. And I want to just make this point clear. If you're signing up, it's a one-off payment for the certification. All of the materials, gold membership for life, coaching platform, my platform, all of it are yours to use with no renewal fees. For some of you that may be professional coaches watching this, you will know how expensive it is to use a marketing system like ClickFunnels or Kartra or Simplero. Here we are making everything you need available. It's like a business in a box. And if you're someone contemplating a life change career, like Siv Tuve here from Norway, and then goal mapping is the tool for you that will help you find your niche and then create your niche material and reach out into the world to find your clients and make a difference with them. Whether you want to work as a one-to-one coach or whether you want to work with workshops or speak at conferences, we have a package that will work for you. And with all our packages, always we include the family materials, because for so many coaches, making a presentation to students is so important. And for some people, like you heard tonight with Sam, or here with Emily, who works with goal mapping and life mapping, working with students is their greatest passion. John Alexander here in Scotland, helping young people in apprenticeship. All of the youth material, including the new family centre we're working on, are all included within the one price. Also included within the package are 10 gold and 15 silver upgrade codes that you can use with your clients in whatever way you choose. You can resell the gold upgrade codes. As you saw earlier, a gold membership for 1 year is £90. Silver membership for 1 year is £42. Add up the value of 10 gold, 15 silver, it's more than £1,500. You can resell, you can give them, or you can make them part of your coaching offer, which is what a lot of the smart coaches are doing, and included also in the certification is life mapping. You can hear here from Risha, as with many of the coaches, they find working with life mapping even more rewarding than working with goal mapping. And of course, it gives you an extra coaching session to run with your clients. Normal price £600, but included in this one package price, if we added it all up, would be nearly 4,000, but all for just £1,495 or €1,741. And we've got a very simple payment plan. If you would like to access it, it can be for the duration that you wish, up to 12 months, just £135 plus VAT per month. And depending on the country that you live, the VAT tax may not be necessary. So just the 135. And the very special thing we have for tonight, first time ever, is if you are joining at the facilitator level, and then we are including the life mapping facilitator as well as the goal mapping facilitator. Each of these are a 7-week training program, and each of these come with a bunch of 10 gold and 15 silver upgrade codes. So if you're taking the facilitator level training tonight at 2,900 £95. The value of codes you're receiving is actually over £4,000 worth of codes, plus the training. Now, the life mapping training starts 1st of November. You will learn how to present a half day, 4 hour if you wish to, life mapping workshop to help people in business, education, network marketing, therapy, any way you wish, raise their self-esteem. For me, it's one of the most important workshops. 7-week training. As part of that training, will help you learn how to create your own life mapping product, and also, of course, how to create marketing pages, etc., set up autoresponders. And then in January 10th is when we're starting the goal mapping facilitator training. And if you are joining tonight, we're going to include both these trainings, life mapping starting soon, goal mapping afterwards, but you can actually start learning the goal mapping as soon as you wish, because all of the recordings from the last training are in the team area and immediately accessible. Now, you can either book immediately now if you feel that this is right for you, and so many people do and just choose to follow through. Remember, you've got that money back guarantee safety net. Or if you want to ask questions about how this program can be tailored for you, then please do book a call with me and Vicky. We'd love to speak with you, help you follow through, hold your hand, show you how you can learn this training, teach it on paper with all of those resources, or online, full materials available, of course, PowerPoint presentations, as well as our team builder, etc. And if you are not sure whether it's for you and you're not interested either in having a call, then I would encourage you, create your goal map for building your future. If you're still here watching this program, it must be because you have a passion to help lift lives and make a difference to others. Create your goal map for helping to make a difference in the world. Let it work its magic for you in the way that it has for others. And if you will share your goal map with me and Vicky, we will give you feedback on how you can make it even stronger. And for anyone that has any questions, please do unmute your microphone. Feel free to ask them. I would love to hear from you. And otherwise, for anyone that wishes to go, please do feel free just to leave the call. Been lovely to see you all joining this evening tonight. Christine, nice to see you staying on to the end. Stephen, and see we've got Vicky there as well, just looking through some of the questions. Thank you all for joining. Lovely to see you. Take care. Lots of love. See you again next month. Bye for now.